よいしょー。こんにちは。ウォーターメロンさんね。こんにちは。ありがとうね。来てくれてありがとう。ちょっとね、最近、ちょっと、イディアムというね、アプリの方で配信をしているので、ちょっとこっちが、少なめになってしまってね、ちょっとね、申し訳ないかなって気持ちにもありつつも、まあね、今日は、なんだっけ。待って。ゲームの名前出てこん。ちょっと待って。コールオブファレスガンスリンガー。よし、言えた。ね、やっていきます。西部劇でドンパチやるゲームでございます。はい。よし、で、一応ね、機材をね、ちょっと届きました。ちょっと届いたというのは、あれです。インターフェースを、スマホにつなげるやつは届いた。で、届いたのよ。届いたんだけど、まだちょっとテストはできてない。ただ、ボイスメモで使うと、左からしか録音されない。左しか音が出ないみたいな状態になってて、いけるかなどうかなっていう感じですね。イリアムくんが、イリアムがね、モノラルで認識してくれればできます。なんか、普段はモノラルらしいのよね、イリアムって。で、対応してるマイクとかインターフェースをつなぐとステレオになるらしくて、で僕の使ってる機材が果たしてどっちで認識されるんだろう。モノラルだったら問題ないよね。だけどステレオで認識されてしまうと、左に音声が寄ってしまうので使えねえなという話でございますよ。でいろいろね、なんか解決策、見てるんだけど、なんかね、ミキサーをつなぐとかね、いろいろあるみたいです。AGO 買うのが早いかな。エフェクターとか買わなくていいからね。そんな感じですよ。ちょっと音はね、こだわりたいなって思うね。よし。じゃあ、早速やっていこうかな。よいしょ。で、画面を開かないと多分こっちが真っ暗やね。そうだ、音を出してない。ちょっとね、ゲームの音出すね。ゲームの音を出さないといけない。ちょっと待って。もう一回真っ黒になるわ。ポチ。どうかな。音は良さそうかな。よし。じゃあこれでね、やっていきましょう。昨日なんだ、この間どこまで行ったっけ。ガトリング親父をダイナマイトで吹き飛ばしたところまでやった気がする。の続きだね。続行。ちょっとスピーカーの音で学習。OK。ポチ。
A few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear. Somebody's coming!
おじさんがいる。
So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. But first I need to tell you about the Cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Herb's coming!
Get ready, boys.
早い早いね。撃つの早っ。
Curly Bill took charge of the cowboys upon the old man's
撃つ
demise.
の早っ。
And after that gunfight at the OK
早
Corral,
っ。
the Clantons wanted revenge.
頭出してくるってくるまでがめちゃくちゃ早い。
So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother Virgil.
うまいな NPC 普通に。待て。
Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
痛い。この野郎。
I'm ending you.
おじさんから弾を取っていきたいんだ。危ない。え、何？
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself.
あ、いる。
But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed. And that's what drove me forward.
あ、そこにいるの？なるほどね。ちょっとあれ使いましょう。意味なかった。
Was infernally fast.
Hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cap.
Earp wasn't much of a match for him, but Doc Holliday might have taken it.
That lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal? Well, to get to that loyal friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man.
やってくる。おお、目の前に出てきた。
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot. Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack. wasn't easy as those boys had good cover.
僕もびっくりした。目の前にいるんだ。違う。当たらない。当たらない。なんかこの辺ないかな。隠し要素とかないか。あ、でもそうだ、ヒントが出るもんね。次や忘れてた。いた。ああ、盾持ちがいるのか。お、いいショットありがとうね。
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
怖っ。ちょっとやって。あ、こっちいいらしい。隠しとかないか。なさそう。
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
どっちどっち。こっちかな。あ、はいはい、これ戻ってくるな。じゃあこっちでやってる。
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
なんか取り巻きがいるのか。Okay.
Brocious gave me no choice but to take his life. But
頑張れ、ありがとう
Ringo
ね。
was nowhere to be found.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
ありがとう、かっこいいね。出た、決闘。
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Ah, 難しい。難しいんだよな、これ。
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true. Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo.
よし。 トが鳴った。
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
おいえい。
It wasn't he
変な
the
翻訳しちゃ
sheriff
っ
who
た。
augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did. I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant, and hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick.
と。
As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits and put a generous price on his head. Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape, and that's where I thought I'd find him.
ね、ストーリー面白いよね。
It makes me nervous standing so close to all these goddamn barrels of gunpowder.
Why would you be nervous? No one has the cojones to come after us. As long as you don't light up a cigar, we're fine.
Besides, George is up there on the rocks with that rifle of his. Nothing gets past him. Who the hell is that?
あれ、あれ。
My late father pointed out to me more than once. God made men. Samuel Colt made them equal.
よし。火炎なんかないかな。あ、爆弾があったんだ。
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it. It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches. There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings. Charlie Crow, the blacksmith. James, who worked in the stable.
Put that moron out of his business.
Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's son. Ordinary citizens who lived a double life. Stealing and thieving and murdering their neighbors.
Time to die.
The rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other. He set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to breach. Dangerous, desperate individual. I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it. They must have thought I was touched. Or had some kind of death wish, seeing as there were barrels of gunpowder everywhere.
Watch out for the goddamn gunpowder!
One stray bullet, one stray spark, and I'd be blown to hell and gone. I thought I was some kind of hero. I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny. But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense. It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way. Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around. And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it. Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell. A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
いろんななんか分かれ道がある。あ、戻ってきた。さっき来たとこで
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common
何も見えん
sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily
真っ暗で見えん
bushwhacked. I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come.
なんか近くにあるらしい。
With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what he's shooting at.
やば。爆発物めちゃくちゃある。真実の鍵がどこにあるんだ。あ、今出た。え、あ、これだ。
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tube.
あー、やば。
Freely admit that my plan of attack was not just moronic, but clearly insane. It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even tried it.
バッドエンドなんだ。
Instead, I spotted a ladder. Way into the mine from the opposite side.
あ、なるほどね。
It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution, because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith, which ain't easy when you're suspended between heaven and hell. I was determined not to give up,
危な。
That Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. And I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water.
ちょっと待ってね。コメントが下の方に行っちゃった。ちょっと待ってね。OK。よいしょ。もう一回戻して。よいしょ。燃えなるとかよ。
But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder.
真実のかけらがありそうだ。
I picked the more convenient and more dangerous route. Plummer was a mad
どこにあった
dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserved better.
Nevada City? Well, I thought Plummer met his maker in Bannock, Montana.
ああうまいなどうしたんだめんどくさいなちょっとここ
Right, well, he was the sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there.
めんどくさいなもう一人いるはずなんだ
The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
じゃあマジちょっと待ってコメントが見えてないちょっと待ってねコメントが出てきたなんかちゃんと下にスクロールしてほしいんですけどコメントゲームに戻って何のためにこうやってる待って見えどこ何人人何人ああなるほど
So that's how Henry Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold. And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
よしなるほど一瞬早打ちモードすればいいの
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself. Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even Wild Bill Hickok himself. I dodged death many a time, and that night in Abilene was no different.
いきなり始まるじゃん。
I was there with the intention of finding that bastard Bob and collecting the bounty on John Wesley.
I thought the Texas Rangers got hard.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. It was cold in a witch's tit and a brass bra that night as I fought my way past his loyal compadres.
Skill な、スキルがいくわな。あ、これいいね。リロード早くなる。後ろ何もないかな、何もないかな。こっちか。ちょっと待って、画面が暗いな。あ、人がいっぱい倒れてる。
To the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood. Hardin was waiting for me, and... Wait, I'm jumping the gun here. Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch. He deserves that much. Don't you think so, Ben? John Wesley Hardin was a killer. By the end, he confessed to taking the lives of 42 men. Fathers and husbands, brothers and sons, men with families who cared about them. He was a bona fide folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
Shit, it's cold out here. Freezing my giblets off. Damn it! That son of a bitch!
They didn't ask why I was there. They knew. As most of them wanted as well. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that town. He was carousing in town with his closest friend. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the
暗すぎて見えない。ちょっと待って、暗すぎて見えない。ちょっと待って。 これ見えたら
Some were hightailing it into town to inform their jefe of my unwelcomed presence.
ちょっとディスプレイを明るくした。やばいやばい、めちゃくちゃいる。めちゃくちゃいる。
You can't hide from me.
Did that asshole just kill Red?
すごい動きしてる。オッケーオッケー。
Tell Hardin someone's coming for him. Stop that son of a bitch!
上から恋する。
Let the boys know we got another law
え
dog.
こっちから恋するんだけど。気のせい。あ、いる。あそこにいるじゃん。当たるこれ当たるわ。当たる当たる。オッケー。
I wondered if Bob was among them.
違う。なんもないかな。お、はしごあるじゃん。なんもないか。あ、あるー。減ったぜ。待って、レベル上がってる。へえ。いいじゃん。
And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit better. Before I could test my mettle against Hardin, however, I would first need
うわ、
to
待って。
dispatch
QT やめ
a
て。
cadre of hired killers. Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story.
Damn him!
見て。そこか。
Now you're really pissing me off! Can't get a good shot at him.
I didn't learn until later that that night was in fact his birthday celebration.
ち書いたりしてないけどクイックシューター気に入った。そうよく分かってないよ。よく分かってないね。よく分かってない。ちょっと待って。いや、ちょっと待って。ちょっと。あ、くそしゃがんだ。めっちゃおるやん。
I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon. Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me. I felt a certain hostility. I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West. I felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him.
何このさ、動かないんだよ。眉間をぶち抜いてやる。嘘、早っ。
No, wait! He didn't hit me then. I'm sure of it.
早っ。銃抜くのめちゃくちゃ早かったと思います。身をかわすときは A と G を使え。身をかわすときは A と D を使えって難易度高すぎ。頭狙うのやめようか。頭狙えたらいいけど。 あーくそ。ちょっとマウスのコードがちょっと引っ張られる。よいしょ。気を取り直して。難しいこれ。
That man was faster than grease lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
So he didn't die?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless Avenger took his life. Shot him in the back at a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben? Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation. A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven. Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death.
ほう。ハーディの決闘実は命中率がめちゃくちゃなことになっていて、6発くらい撃たないとめったに当たんないようになっている。へえ。え？そうなんだ。へえ。
Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him. They saw me before I saw them. And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down.
保護色で見えない。そうだろ。シューターレンジャー。
It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated there.
当たらねえ。
I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of those.
Come on, clear.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout. Deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
下か。
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the walls.
Ah, ここへ出るのか。待った。この銃当たらんなのかな。この銃に書いてめちゃくちゃ当たらんなった気がするんだけど。もしかしてレンジャーよりシューターの方が当てやすいとかあるこれ。
was his cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars. They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
何？
How come you know so much about engines?
A few years back, I was married to 2 Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
またね、ちょっとコメント欄がスクロールしてくれなくなってて。何シューターが命中よりレンジャーが威力よりクイックが連射リロード速度とかね。よりなんだね。なるほど。そういうことか。なるほどな。
Oh, well, I pursued him into the cave of death.
あとはシューターを使った方がいいかも。
I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows. And I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me. As his story unfolded in my mind.
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no rainbow if the eye had no tears.
He said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me, though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk. swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle. I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back. I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo is right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens?
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady.
当たらねえ、当たらねえこれ。スキルの割り振りを見てみる。どういうこと？商品のスピードを 30% 増加する。どういうこと？そういうことか。
I had a steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches around.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them.
全然わからんかった。
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a
当たらない。
lot of them.
どこ？敵どこ？お前痛い。 どこ
And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before. I followed it because I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air. Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty.
いやー難しい。なんか囲まれると難
Thank
し
you,
いな。
darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand. Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of the right?
I did my best, sir. We all did. It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street. Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always writing him about how he had no ambition. Oh, you're nobody next to Jesse James, she'd say. Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up.
Right. It's always the woman's fault.
Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. Their first mistake was pulling a job in their own damn hometown. The boys grew up in Coffeeville, so everybody knew them. The bank teller tricked them, telling them the time lock on the safe wouldn't open till 9:30. Well, that gave the locals enough time to prepare an ambush for those sons of bitches.
We got a hero. Put some holes in him. Murder!
なんかあるらしい。真実のかけら。どこどこ真実のかけら。違う。どこ真実のかけらどこどこんこの辺？違う。どこだ？真実のかけら。ないじゃん。これ やったら先進んじゃうよね。ん？え？ないないないない。ないよ。え？なくね？え？どこだ？え？ないないや。ないからいいや。なんかいつまでたっても見つからなさそう。ああ、そうやね。よいしょ。
The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
All men had been tracking the Daltons for months. Now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a law.
見えませんけど。
This man had no intention of letting the Daltons slip away. They met an adversary that day who had no fear and offered them no quarter. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. We just gotta wait till something bitches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns.
当たらねえ。
He went in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind. He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
ああ、なるほどね。うわ。これか。
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
Is that Silas Greaves? Son of a bitch! That's right. Run! Gotcha!
下か。お、あった。レベル上がったらしい。
Greaves! What the hell?
Bland! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons. His name was Silas Greaves, and when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened. It was early evening, not high noon. I was late to the party, and Coffeyville was already up in arms. The Daltons blew up a safe, and were all set to hightail it out of there. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies. I've been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. Finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. They still had friends in Coffee.
難しい。こっちか。
Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose it. The problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons.
気が見えない。
They were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons, which wasn't any surprise, because those 2 families have been feuding forever. Since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeyville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens. The Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape. The 3rd brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work. It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Greaves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
どうすればいいの？
I'm gonna tear you apart. I'm gonna plant you where you stand.
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him? But I have to admit,
よし。
that boy had grit.
オッケーオッケー。どうしようかな。次行って終わりにしようかな。
We'll get those suckers.
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this!
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
We'll track him to the ends of the earth.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks. It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood. The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody. Except for some bitches ahead of me wanting to do me harm. So I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
God damn him to hell!
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends.
Can't believe you keep missing.
The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
どこだ？
Point being, I was under serious attack. And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, 当たらない。
But luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view. But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running for the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was. Steve? So I just started walking, and pretty soon Steve? Steve?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
またか。
There were Indians?
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So,
聞くの疲れてきた。
where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son of a bitch!
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet, but I did find a few of their cousins. Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family? I bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Pick you up.
当たらない当たらなかったぞ。割り振りできるようになってる。かけらとかなんかありそうだけどな。ないんだ。ないんだ。ないんだ。どんな感じしたの？なんか出てきた。武器か。ああ。で嘘だろえ OEM が下手。どこにいるどこにいるどこにいる。え
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them. And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
Guess it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was in that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
It's どこにいる？この距離で当たってくれ。
Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
You can't hide from me. Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Bill. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
One sorry son of a bitch!
ちょっと待って。はしご乗った瞬間に
Right about then, much to my relief, The vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit. Huh? It turned out that they had me.
Take him out! I'm sending you to hell!
The Daltons had played me like a fiddle. Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Well, yeah, but I was in a fight.
We're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed big. I don't think it'll even float.
So anyway...
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsank.
Oh, God.
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Greaves?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. It was time to settle this once and for all.
どこ？難しいぞ。
About to come at me one at a time. They were in this together. Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down.
ちょっと二人いるじゃん、二人。え？いやむずい。でもそういうことだよね。うわ早っ。 なんで右の人に打てないんだろう。早すぎるのかな、2回目クリックが。右の人に打てない。なぜ？
Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
They
got it wrong. A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds. Paroled 14 years later. He moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
疲れたー疲れました。
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told. It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
なんかここでさ、ここでやめようと思ったんだけど、ここでやめていいこれここでやめていいなんか、ここでやめていいなんか、話めっちゃ大丈夫かなこれラストとかで、ね、大丈夫だよね。そろそろ疲れたからこの辺で終わりにしようかなと思ったんだけどさ。大丈夫かな
Outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana.
また画面が勝手に最小化されちゃった。
And that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
ここでやめられるね。なんかいっぱい。なんかちょこちょこ見つけたけど。よし、じゃあ今日はこの辺で終わりにしようかな。疲れました。疲れました。結構でも進んだよね。結構進んだと思うんですが。ね。よし、では。ちょっと待ってね。これ雑談。割とちょうどいい区切りだと思うし、全然大丈夫だと思う。あ、そうなんだね。じゃあ OK。お疲れありがとうね。じゃあちょっとこっちに画面に切り替えてね。 お、出てきた。いやー、なんかそうだね、なんかちょうどなんか兄弟を捕まえたというかね、ところで終わったからちょうどいいのかな。キリはいいのかな。じゃあ続きはいつしようかな。いや、明日しようかな。明日そうだな。じゃあ明日8時の枠で続きやるわ。続きやる。そんな感じでお願いします。で、今日は、そうだな。今日は8時の枠はいいや。今日8時の枠はいいや。で、10時、10時10時じゃない。11時半とかにちょっと、今日朝イリアムやったから、もう一回ちょっとだけイリアムやってっていう感じだな、今日は。で、明日どうしよっかな。明日は8時にイリアムやるけど、お昼もイリアムやるかも。そんな感じです。はい。よろしくお願いします。いや、でも、なんか決闘、難しいわ。2人撃つやつ分からんかった、マジで。なんだろう、多分引き金を引くのが早すぎて、多分斜め下に撃ってるんだろうな。こう、ホルスターから銃を抜いて、多分、2回目のクリック早すぎて、多分斜め下に撃ってるんだろうな。ちょっと遅らせたら、当たったからね。右の人に。で、一生懸命、ギュッてこう、左に、ね、マウス動かして、なんか意外とエイムするのに、マウス動かさなきゃいけなかったけど。ね。なんかでも後半ちょっとエイミングが怪しかったな。敵もなんか見えなくなってきたし。なんか保護色でさ、なんか見えにくいみたいなね。なんか、なんか昔の人というかさ、なんか西部劇の人ってさ、なんか、動物の皮とか、革製のさ、なんか、ものを身につけてたりさ、するじゃん。あれがさ、土の色とかと一緒でさ、見えねーってなっちゃうんだよな。地味な色だからさ、みんな。なんか、でもインディアンとか派手な装飾してるけど、なんかカーボーイハットみたいなウエスタンハットみたいな被ってる人はね、なんか地味な色だからみんな。土の色と同化して、土の色とか木の色と同化して見えねえみたいなね。なんかそんな感じだったな。はい。まあというわけでね、今日は11時半11時半ね、イリアムちょっとやって寝る。そんな感じでよろしくお願いします。はい。ということでね、お疲れ様です。でも2時間やった。このわけ2時間やったわ。ようやった。疲れるわけだわ。ということでお疲れ様でした。バイバイ。お疲れ様。バイバイ。